Well, Pacelli and Boomer, they're grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. Got a talk show called Geeky, and it's true, spinning old tales about the stuff that went through. From Atari to Shrek, they know every line. Geeky, man, they're feeling just fine. Late Savvy's got a lightsaber, swings it with pride. Boomer's got a game but plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky, they're the nerdiest crew, talking Transformers toys that twist and they turn, singing blues for the geek life, their hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky geezers with hearts made of gold. They're sitting in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Super Friends, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passion and both. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky is where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old, tuning in to hear stories that never get told. Talking Ghostbusters, proton packs, toys in the box, and Saturday mornings with cartoons that rock. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky is with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they play, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that pray. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky geezers keep the nerd fire alight, so tune in each week to the Geeky Geezer Show, where Pacelli and Boomer let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news, singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Aged Boomer. This is my co-host, Pacelli.
And you are here for the news of August 16th, not the 9th. I'm sure Boomer will change the title.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now.
Please understand, this is not Boomer's fault. This is mine.
I know, but Netter warned me and I should have done it. Okay, so I don't have an excuse.
The producer, right. I made the mistake, and you guys would not believe, if you could see my studio right now, it is a mess. I am working with baling wire and duct tape over here because of Evie Mucks. Evie sucks is what it is. And I will probably be changing studios very, very soon. But bear with us. We're doing our best.
I think we're all wishing it was August 9th right about now. It's just...
Did you just get rid of the chat now? Because now the chat's gone.
Yeah, chat's gone.
What do you mean the chat's gone?
You change I literally cannot see the chat on YouTube any longer.
Oh my God, hold on.
You updated the title and the chat went away.
Okay, well, I messed up, didn't I? Okay, hold on. I'll fix it. Bear with me. Comments disabled. Well, that would have been me.
Yes.
You can yell at me after the stream.
Re-enable the comments.
All right, hold on.
And I was right in the middle of dropping a comment, too, and I'm like, wait, where'd it go?
Exactly.
Comments off. How did that happen? Hold on.
I don't know.
Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay.
This one we can't blame on the studio because that's not something you change in the studio.
Well, I'm blaming it on YouTube Studio because all I did was change the date.
Well.
Oh, that's what happened. Sorry about that.
Is it
all right.
Is it something you can put back?
I think so. Hold on.
And don't forget
Comments are on now. Let's hit save. Okay, try typing a comment, anyone. Make fun of me. It's okay.
Yep, it's back. It's back.
Okay.
You know what I did? I said it was for kids. This is not a kid stream. I don't know how I selected that when I was changing the date.
That's why.
Here we are.
No, this is absolutely not for kids.
We're having a week,
Absolutely.
everyone. Okay, our weekend, I
I
should
would
say.
say so.
We were
All right,
sorry we
let's
missed
say
it.
hi to these people who have patiently been trying to type.
Yes. Okay. Big Al, welcome. I was on Friday with him. We did a Robin of Sherwood stream. Netter of Netter's Network. Thank you for the hi, sweetie.
And
thank you.
you're going to be on with deleted scenes later tonight. You're a real popular guy.
We're going to be yep. We're going to be talking about a classic 1975 movie, Deep Red, also known in Italy as Profondo Rosso. Is anyone else hearing the
Okay.
stream? Yes, I know. Thank you, Lynn, for letting us know. Okay. I probably should have changed the date at the end. We'll do that next time. Anyway, welcome, Zootopia. Welcome. Welcome, JPRPH1. And anyone else who didn't leave when they found out they couldn't write comments and they're like, screw this guy. I want my voice heard, right?
Right. That is kind of the whole upside to a live stream, right? Is being able to interact with the audience. That's why we live stream. That's the full intent.
Sasha, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. What was more important, me changing the date or me getting around to Quaking before the stream? Okay.
Well,
anyway, hey Troy.
I mean, in fairness, I was really just making a joke. You could have changed the title after the stream. I don't think anyone.
Well, I should have done that, but I meant to do it before the stream. Netter told me, he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and I don't know how I missed that. Okay. So you guys like the concert at the schools? You guys?
Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to see his response. He sent me a link to some unlisted, so I can't share them with you guys.
I see.
Videos at the school that he teaches at. Cover band doing some classic 80s music. Summer 69, Footloose. Interestingly, what's that one that you like? Dexter's Midnight something or others?
Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. Right, exactly. And I'm like, well, I didn't actually see a fiddle on stage, but sure sounded good. So, good stuff.
Bonjour, Nate. Okay, so here we are on this lovely evening. All right, let's go to the presentation, huh? How's that sound?
Yep, sounds good. I know I got that loaded, I think. Or you did, actually. You loaded it, didn't you?
We reloaded it, so hopefully I didn't mess it up because we had another, unfortunately, well, this is not for a good reason. Well, it's a good reason that we're remembering him, but another celebrity death to talk about tonight.
Yeah, that you had to add. Yeah, was that we hadn't covered him last week, right?
We hadn't covered him last week. No, we didn't do any celebrity deaths last week.
Right.
We always talk about the good old days, and we're going to talk tonight about Phantasm.
Wow. Yeah. This is a blast from the past. But I guess that's what this is all about, isn't it?
Remember?
True. Yes.
Never even watched it with us. I don't know how much she remembers of this. So this is 1979. The great Don Coscarelli directed this movie. He had made a family movie called Kenny and Company, and there's a part in the movie with a haunted house. And he found that the audience really loved these scenes in the haunted house, and he said, "You know what? I'm just going to make a movie that's all that." Okay, and that's how he came up with Phantasm.
That kind of makes sense.
And I think he came up with. You go ahead, yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, you're showing the poster, which shows a very iconic prop, the orb that flies around and has spikes come out of it, and does all other kinds of torturous things. It's kind of like a precursor to the Lament configuration from Hellraiser in some ways. But Netter had posted, as you do, you share little memes and funny pictures and stuff, and somebody was showing. If you've ever seen one of those apple corers that slices your apple and takes out the core with, like concentric blades, the handles had snapped off and the blades were just sticking out of the apple. And I don't remember what the caption was. It was just kind of funny.
It's like, I went to slice my apple. Now it's a weapon.
And now it's a weapon. So I posted a GIF of this, flying with the blades. Someone else commented, "Well, there's a deep dive for you."
It's funny. The first time I saw one of those instruments was actually on an episode of Bates Motel.
What instruments?
to slice the apple up, the one you're talking about.
Oh, really? I thought
Yes.
that was a very common, like late 70s, early 80s.
It probably is.
unit
I just
caster.
never saw one growing up. We never had one in the house.
Yeah, they kind of
Yeah.
suck. I got to be honest with you. I'm not real.
Yeah, we have one, and I struggle to try and use it.
Yeah. There's much better ways to core an apple.
But this was made in 1979, and I think he kind of based this around how, if you think of it from an outsider perspective, our funeral practices in the West, at least United States, might be
Right.
seen as kind of creepy to an outsider, huh? We take a dead body, we filled it with this chemical called formaldehyde, coffins, all these things, and I think that's sort of what he came up with, the whole idea of like a funeral.
You're not wrong. I mean, actually, I think it's almost impossible to divorce any funerary practice, any memory of someone passing, removing any kind of creep factor from it. There's always going to be some.
Yep.
But I think it is intensified when you're looking at it from an outside culture, right?
It's kind of fascinating because in the Japanese manga Uzumaki, they do something creepy with cremation. So they're cremating people, and when they cremate people, they see like this horrible spectral image come out of the smoke, out of the chimney of the cremation thing.
Yeah.
And then the smoke goes into the lake, and like then suddenly the faces start appearing in a lake and stuff, and it's just really freaky out. And that's how they made that creepy. So I guess anything involved with death is kind of creepy. We have the great Angus Scrim as a man we just know him as the Tall Man, and
right,
very creepy. I often argued it would be cool if we had a Hell Priest versus Tall Man movie, but then I realized they probably wouldn't get in each other's way. Pinhead would just be apathetic and wouldn't care, right? Think about it.
Exactly. Sashi makes a great point. He says, well, I'm a Hindu. We burn our dead, reduces the number of the dead rising.
Interesting.
I mean, this is an excellent point because this is one thing that we talked about with, throughout the 80s, we talked about this with Jason. When the kid finally chops him up into little pieces, everyone was like, yeah, why didn't someone do this before? And then bury the pieces in separate places so they can't come together.
Well,
and then my mom was just like, Ms. Practical. She's like, why don't they cremate them? Okay, cremate them, but cremate the pieces separately.
Nothing seems to work though. It's like that. There's a new book coming out right in the fall, and you know what it is? I think it's called Amityville Unleashed or a similar title. And the plot of the book is someone decides to tear down the Amityville house in Long Island, right?
Okay.
So like a new book coming out. The trouble is when they do that, it unleashes all the evil that was contained in it, and now it all spreads around Long Island. That's the plot of the book.
Well, call the Ghostbusters. They've dealt with that before. When they shut down that containment unit. Anyway.
I guess, yeah, because who knows? Maybe that's what it was all about. It's like, no, we're trying to keep hell at bay, This is not this. The Tall Man, of course, isn't from hell, but he might as well be. He's from an alternative dimension that looks horrible, and we find out he's capturing corpses over here on our world and turning them into these horrible dwarf-like creatures to ship back to his home planet or home dimension as I can't use a certain word, but indentured servants. Okay, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I don't know. You get to see a glimpse of his world in that, but that's Mike. This is our protagonist in this movie, a boy basically. He's I think he just turned 13 in this, right? In this movie, and part of me wonders too. You were I don't know how old you were in the 70s when this came out in 79, but is this sort of how it was like being a kid in the 70s? What was pictured in this movie? You got to school around. You look for things to do in the neighborhood or in your house because
Yep,
not as many.
It was very much
options.
like that.
Yeah.
To the extent that you're on your own, not so much. I'd definitely be getting together with friends all the time, but then we'd be looking for shenanigans to get into. Whether that meant taking a hike out in the forest preserves, building a fort, sometimes building a fort right in their backyard, like in the pines. You know how pine trees tend to get hollow
Yep.
inside, because you can clear them out and whatnot. But so yeah, doing stuff like that, and just getting into trouble. I mean, so yeah, that was exactly what it was like growing up in the 70s, early 80s. It's just for me, once I got into the 80s, then I could drive. So then, we could do more damage that way.
And kegger parties and whatnot, right? I don't know if that was
Not
a
an
thing.
international kegger here.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. But it is estimated there are more dead bodies in the ocean than in all the graveyards of the world. I mean, that's where the tall man should have been plundering. But is he
Yeah,
related
well,
to?
when he says in the ocean, I mean, they're not there anymore. I think what he means is more dead bodies have gone into the ocean. There aren't many there now.
Yes,
They tend to be gone.
I guess the elements and the animal and
Right.
the ocean life takes care of them. Is he related to Patricia Tallman?
Tall man, I get it. I get it.
Funny.
Uh-huh.
I guess she's pretty tall. We talked about her last week.
Yeah.
He's actually the actor who plays him is Angus Scrimm. He used to write for the TV Guide. This was just
Did
a
he
side
really?
gig for him. He was a writer for the TV Guide for a lot of his life.
Interesting.
Yes. But this is the wonderful scene when Mike sort of goes into the mausoleum late at night because I'm going to go investigate what's going on over at this funeral home, and then the tall man is behind him, and then he turns around to face the tall man, and he goes, then he just goes,
Yeah.
oh shit, because what else are you gonna?
Exactly.
What am I gonna do? And then,
Right.
Uh,
I have no excuse for why I'm here. I just don't.
we see there on the below is Reggie, played by Reggie Bannister, who is the ice cream man in this movie, who ends up
Yep.
playing a bigger role in the sequels. Actually,
Yes. Yes, he does.
There's a wonderful line in Phantasm 2 when because in Phantasm 2 Mike is now an adult now. He's grown up a bit, and Reggie goes with him, and they say we're gonna find the tall man and take him out. I
Yeah.
think that it's the first time I felt that the element of the quest was introduced, or maybe it has been before, but it felt like a quest was being introduced into a horror series where they're running toward the evil rather than away from it.
Right.
It's not about surviving; it's about them taking it out. And they even admit, they say, we're going to confront him, and we're probably not going to survive, but we have to try. And he has a line in the movie where they go into one small town that's been because Tall Man is going from town to town in middle of America, and Reggie makes a point that small towns are like people. Some live a long time and die a natural death. Others are murdered.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what happens here. Let me see here, though. Anyone in the chat see this movie? Now, we know about the ball, right? You don't want the ball to hit your head.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Now you're probably gonna. Well, you're not monetized, so they're not watching you that close. But
What? It's cherry syrup, and he's spraying it.
no. That's a long cherry. What do they call those? Red vine. It's a long cherry red vine.
It's a lot. I strategically picked a picture of this.
Yes.
Anyway, look at that, huh? He's gonna make some ice cream sodas, at the soda
How
fountain.
do you think they filled it? You think he had something going up his arm, like a tube or something?
I have no idea.
I can't imagine how else they would have done that.
For an independent
Raspberry
film.
jam.
Yeah.
For Licorice Whip, there you go. For an independent film, this
right.
This had some cool little effects in it. This whole mausoleum here, on the DVD, Don Coscarelli said that they hired people to build a set for him, and the guys that came in, they built the set. They basically built him a building.
Yeah.
Like these were solid walls. These weren't like the fake stuff you see on Hollywood lots.
Right.
Let me see.
I do want to say one thing regarding. See, I've spent way too much time thinking about this. That orb, right? I did describe it as a precursor to the lament configuration, but their purpose is completely different. The lament configuration can be thought of as a key for opening a door, whereas the orb, it's a weapon. Let's be honest, it's a weapon. It's a trap. It's also, to a certain degree, like an alien embalming device, right? Because it basically does. Because we were talking about embalming earlier, right? one of the things that you have to, okay, this is where we get a little bit icky. So, you might want to mute for about, I'd say about a minute and a half. But in actual embalming, they have to remove your blood and whatever else is moving through your veins as you decompose and replace it with the embalming fluid. And it's not terribly dissimilar to the same medical process as a dialysis.
Yeah.
You're taking it all out, putting it all back in. You're just putting in something other than blood now. Well, this device obviously is used to drain the blood, apparently through the brain.
I guess so,
Okay.
but
Do you want me to have nightmares?
We're not watching the movie.
Well, you saw it once before, Netter. I remember that.
That's true. You did.
Angus
It was
Scrim.
long enough ago where I was able to put it out of my head.
Yep.
Sorry. Born Lawrence Rory Guy was an American actor, author, and journalist. He's best known by the celebrated horror sci-fi communities. And he won a
That is
Grammy
true.
Award.
He died the day after my birthday in 2016, so that's why I actually took note of that. I was like, wow.
He won a Grammy Award in 1994 for the liner notes for the classical album Korngold, the classic Eric Wolfgang Korngold. Okay, well, good for him.
Interesting.
Look at that.
Interesting.
He's a man of many talents, yes. But yeah, let's get past that. Sorry, Netter.
Yeah.
There's the scene with the giant fly.
That one was just creepy.
I did not like
although I think about it every time I play Fallout 4 and one of those bloat flies comes. Oh God, and the sound effects and the ew.
I think it's really cool they're making a game based off Hellraiser, but I think also Phantasm would be a great thing to base a game on.
Right.
Yeah. He appeared in
That reminds me, I want to check my Steam and to find out when that Hellraiser movie is coming.
Hellraiser is not out yet. I would have mentioned it. All right, it's coming, but it's not there yet. He appeared in several beloved genre staples such as Chopping Mall as Dr. Carrington, Mind Warp as the Seer, and John Dies at the End as Father Shelnut. Okay, good to know. But yeah, there's the three of them, though. There's Jody, there's Mike, and there's Reggie. And they're going to go face off against the tall man. And let's see how well that goes for them. By the way, you did mention, though, about the orbs. In Phantasm 2, I think he does use one.
Yeah.
As a sort of a key or something to turn on a device. So they have multiple things. It's obviously some weird alien technology. In one of the later Phantasm movies, they do explain the tall man's origin a little bit. Go ahead.
The Clive Barker's Hellraiser revival, due to release October 8th of this year, and so is Silver Pines, which I did download a demo for and have not yet played. You
should let us know what you think of the demo. I'm curious about that.
We'll probably talk about it one night on Live from
Sparkwood 21. This is, of course, the thing that leads to another dimension. You don't see anything. It just looks like these two vibrating poles. If you walked in the middle of them, you will end up somewhere else. Okay?
Yep.
A place not nice. A place that seems very hot and the gravity seems different. You don't want to go there. Okay? It's an inhospitable alien world or alien dimension, whatever you call it.
Kind of like a desert world, wasn't it?
Kind of, yeah. And in those canisters are, of course, the creepy dwarf creatures that are made from our own corpses. And it's interesting, and I'm giving a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not a huge one. In this movie, there's a scene where Mike is in an old antique shop, and he looks at an old photo, and he sees the tall man in an old photo from, like, the Civil War era, right?
Right.
In Phantasm 4, they actually explain that. He was a doctor during the Civil War. After the Civil War, and he was also a mortician, and after the Civil War, he was into tuning forks and vibrations, and he was doing experiments with sound vibrations. And what he ended up doing was I think he ended up creating a gateway into another dimension with these vibrations. And he walked through it, but then he comes out as the tall man. We don't know what happened to him after he crossed over. We just know when he comes back, he's now the villain, the monster he knows.
Well, that's interesting because I would not be surprised. I've just recently been going through them again. My Tobin Spirit Guide
Yeah.
and Spates catalog, the two Ghostbusters tomes. And I talked about them during a live from Sparkwood 21 because there's a whole chapter of Spates Guide dedicated to Twin Peaks and Glastonbury Grove and so forth. And unless I'm mistaken, the Tall Man is in one of those two books as well. So
Oh, really?
yeah, there's a
That's very
lot of
cool.
great references. A lot of great references. Spates Guide even talks about the Immortals, as in Highlander,
Oh,
as
yeah.
well as other urban legends like the Wandering Jew and things like that. What was the other guy? There was somebody. Oh, I forget the other immortal guy who was supposed to have shown up in court in England. And
Okay, you know why the Wandering Jew was wandering?
why?
Because he was a guy, so he was the stuff and asked for
Yeah,
directions.
that's usually the problem, right? But I'll
Yeah.
tell you, maybe part of it is because, when he gets to his destination, he's going to die. So he's not in any hurry to get to his destination.
Yeah. Never saw after the
I
first
never
one.
saw after the first one. Time for me to watch the rest. Yeah, if you like the first one, I feel like the sequels hold up. I mean, they're not great, but then neither was the first one. You're not watching this for absolute greatness. You're watching them for just entertaining and actually kind of very interesting, thought-provoking stories. Believe it or not. I mean, I know there's people that have seen this movie that would hear me say it and go, thought-provoking? Seriously? Yeah,
Yes.
if you think it through.
Let's be honest. I think this is the first time we saw the idea of a creature that comes from another, not from another planet, but from another dimension, and that's in this.
Right.
In a movie, at least, up until this point. I did want to make a point, too, that Phantasm 3 is fascinating because as Mike and company, they go throughout Middle America, you realize that there have been other towns that have been attacked and destroyed by the Tall Man, and that there are other people who have their own stories about how they dealt with what happened in the town. Do you understand? Sort of
Oh,
like,
interesting.
yeah, like they run into a lady named Rocky. They run into a little boy whose father was the sheriff and bad stuff his dad was trying to deal with what was going on. So you realize it's not just Mike and Reggie that are dealing with this. It's other people throughout the country that have been running into this. But I think the idea is it's happening in these small towns, and the authorities that should know about it aren't paying attention or something. Like nobody
Sounds
pays
almost-
attention to what goes on in flyover country, I guess, right?
Yeah,
But
it sounds almost like Cabin in the Woods, where they're trying to. No, it wasn't Cabin in the Woods. It was maybe it was where there was a creature that was trying to kill them all, but like
Yeah.
I can't remember now if it was China or Japan. They sang to it and calmed it down.
Yes.
And
Exactly, because you deal with different cultures dealing with things differently. Yeah.
so they were
Yeah.
able to defeat it. That's what this kind of sounds like.
Yeah, that was yeah, what was that?
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in
Yeah,
the Woods.
where
Josh
they had
Whedon,
different horror situations to appease the elder gods or whatever who were watching them as though they're entertainment. And but you have to program in some sort of a weakness that gives the possibility. Otherwise, it gets boring if okay, yeah, they're all going to die. I don't really need to watch this to the end, kind of a thing.
There was what was it? There was the in Japan it was like something out of The Ring or The Grudge, right?
Right.
The ghost,
Exactly.
right? And what was funny though is I remember how the people running the operation, they're like middle management types. It's like something out
Yeah.
of The Office almost, and it's
Right.
like, and like well, we still got Japan as a backup, Do you know them? Do you know the Japanese to relax? So, like, I think he made a little slight against Japanese work culture or something
Right.
like they were trying their best to. I imagine Italy had to have had one because there are all sorts of horrible things in Italian horror movies too. They could have had dealing with over there, but yeah, probably a witch of some sort. I liked how
probably a lot of boobs too. I mean, that seems to be the thing in Italy too.
Well, I liked when they were doing the Office game in Cabin in the Woods. We should do Cabin in the Woods for good old days. Maybe around Halloween. But they were doing the what was it, the poll of what would take them out, and one of the things written on the board was sexy witches.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that? It's,
The one guy
early.
did as Merman
Right.
until
No.
he was killed by him. At the
Well,
end.
I was gonna say most of those that you see on the board actually do show up in
Later
the
on.
release them all scene. Yeah.
All the great monsters, early precursor H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, concept of dimensions beyond our normal sensory perception, largely studies in
Yes.
later works. Yeah, probably. I'm sure
And,
Coscarelli read H.P.
and that
Lovecraft.
and
Yeah,
that idea is starting to come back a lot as people are starting to rethink because it used to be if you look at the lore of fairies and changelings and all that kind of stuff, and then you look at various religious iconography and stories and mythologies and what's not, and then start comparing them to things like aliens and whatnot, and you start going, "Hey, this idea of you know others coming and taking your children and replacing them with someone else, and so on and so forth." That seems to be a recurring theme, whether it's aliens or fairies or demons or whatever. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that's an incredibly off-putting cover.
And part of me thinks this is like the poster from Italy, but I think this is just another American
Probably.
poster. It's like fairies have laws. Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's true. Think about Darby
They
O'Gill's
do.
Little
It's just
People.
they don't. Yeah, they do. It's just very, very different from what you would expect.
Yeah.
They have rules they follow, but they seem pretty chaotic to us.
And my favorite scene, though, in any of these movies, I think, was the end of Phantasm 3 when Reggie tells the little boy, and this is after they, of course, have finally killed the tall man. I
Right.
say that winking because and he
Right.
but
He's
then
coming
Reggie's
back.
being attacked by those balls, and he's like just the spheres, and he's like he tells the little boy just run, it's over, and then the tall man shows up and he says it's never
Never over.
over. And
Right.
I. I've sent that clip to Troy when he sends me horrible news, like how much worse can it get? It has to be over, and then he
It's
sends me
never
something, and I
over.
say it's never over, and it's like it just doesn't stop. But
This is actually creepier to me than when they do something similar in Pan's Labyrinth.
yeah, I don't know what it is of this poster. It's freaky. Oh, I don't think I had a picture of the lady in lavender in here. That was the tall man's alter ego, which is this attractive blonde woman who he
Oh,
turns
right.
into.
Right.
I don't know why he does that. I don't want to. Let's not go there. There's some psychosexual stuff in there probably that I have to think about. But all
Yeah.
right, man. But of course, the tagline for this movie was, "If this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead."
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but this big scary one in the late '70s. Another great classic '70s horror movie. But now we have to, unfortunately, I think, come into the present, and this brings us to our first In Remembrance. Reggie Bannister dies. Phantasm actor was 80.
Yeah.
Cool
Yep.
dude. He was actually he's a Vietnam vet too. Did you know that?
I didn't, but it doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
yeah. And Reggie Bannister, actor best known for starring in the Phantasm film series, has died. He was 80. The actor died on Sunday, August 9th, in his home in Crestline. His wife, Gigi Bannister, told TMZ, according to Bannister's wife, the actor had been exposed to Agent Orange while serving in the U.S. military during the Vietnam War. Agent Orange is a powerful chemical that kills weeds and acts as a defoliant, which the military used during the war in Vietnam to clear dense jungle and destroy food crops. Bannister also battled with Lewy body dementia and Parkinson's disease. In 1979, Bannister would star in the supernatural horror film, directed and written by Don Coscarelli. The film starred A. Michael Baldwin as Mike, a teenager in a small town, as he investigates strange things going on at a local funeral home, along his older brother Jody and family friend Reggie. The film was followed by 4 sequels in which Bannister reprised his role as Reggie, starting with 1988's Phantasm 2, 1993's Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead, 1998's Phantasm 4, Oblivion, and 2016's Phantasm Ravager. Bannister's other credits include Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation, The Demonologist in 1995, Wishmaster 1997,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bubba Hotep, which I love Bubba Hotep. I recommend Bubba Hotep to anybody here. Have you ever seen Bubba Hotep?
I
Yes.
have, yes.
Okay,
I did
yes.
not like it.
And
Oh,
Netter
okay.
didn't care for it. I understood what it was, and I can appreciate it for what
It's
it was.
goofy. I'm not going to say it's not goofy. Cemetery Gates 2004. The
Oh,
Mangler Reborn 2005, Last Rites 2006, The Rage 2007, The Quiet Ones 2008, Carnies 2008, Saw Blade 2010, Not Another B Movie 2011, The Ghastly Love of Johnny X 2012, The Bloody Bugle Camp 2012,
sure.
Obsidian Curse 2016, and Bojangles 2017. My word, that's a lot of movies. Okay. Well, now we know what to watch for the next year. Okay. Cemetery Gate sounds interesting, huh?
Hmm.
I wonder if it's about a cemetery. But rest in peace, Reggie. You gave us a lot of good times. Favorite scene with him was in Phantasm 2 because he has a chainsaw in Phantasm 2. And he goes up to one of the tall man's minions, this dude, this giant guy in like a gas mask, and he says, "Come on, you mother," and you know the rest. When it was on TNT, it was "Come on, you mother," and they didn't play the last part of that expression. And he says, "Come on,
Right.
you mother," and he has his little chainsaw on, and then the other guy takes out a giant chainsaw off the shelf. And it's a
Yeah.
chainsaw fight, and he's got the stinky chainsaw. Oh no. This is why I love horror movies anyway. But
Right.
rest in peace, Reggie. We have some other celebrity deaths, unfortunately. We have Ben Jones, actor turned politician who played Cooter Davenport in the Dukes of Hazzard, dies at
Yeah.
84. Look at that,
We lost
huh?
a good old boy. Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, Ben
Yeah.
Jones, the actor turned politician. Yeah, he died on Sunday from a heart attack, according to his wife, Alma Vietor. He was 84. Vietor announced her husband's death in a Facebook post on Sunday afternoon with a photo of Jones holding his dog. She wrote, "I lost the love of my life today. Ben passed from a massive heart attack. He was home resting in his favorite chair, waiting for the Braves to come on and whoop the Yankees. Ben had the
Yeah.
most amazing, rich, full life. He loved and was loved by so many. He will be missed. I love him so much." In the Dukes of Hazzard, Jones played Cooter Davenport, the Hazzard County mechanic, and an honorary member of the Duke clan. Appearing in
Yeah.
142 episodes, Jones starred alongside Tom Wopat, John Schneider, Catherine Bach, Denver Pyle, Sorrell Brooke, and Waylon Jennings.
Yep.
Duke's star Wopat paid tribute to Jones on social media. He wrote in an Instagram post, "The Dukes of Hazzard lost another integral part of their cast today. Ben Jones was a fine friend and a fierce advocate of all the best things we can offer in the entertainment business. He will be sorely missed." Denver File briefly said, "Ben, I'm not your Uncle Jesse, but I feel like we lost a Duke cousin today." I have to say, and he also ran for Congress in Georgia's 4th Congressional District and won by 20 points. He was reelected in
Yep.
1990. Okay. Rest in peace, man. I'm telling you, they don't make them like this anymore. I don't think, right?
No.
Quality,
No.
down to earth
Absolutely.
actors. How about you, Netter? Do you remember him at all?
Vaguely. I didn't
Yeah.
really
Okay,
watch the Dukes of Hazzard much.
I see. You were
That's
more of a
fair.
BJ and the Bear fan. I got you. I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm just trying to think
Didn't
what's
really
on the
watch that
same.
one either.
Uh,
That's
all
funny.
right, man. Rest in peace, dude. All right,
Yep.
and one more celebrity death tonight. John Cipher dies. Hill Street Blues
Yeah.
police chief, major dad, regular, and Masters of the Universe ally. Was
Yep.
94. I hope when they say Masters of the Universe ally, he wasn't in the latest movie, but I guess we'll find out.
No, I don't think he was. He was. Yeah, he was. He played the Man at Arms in the 1986. Which members, assuming that my studio wants to cooperate with me, that's the movie we'll be watching on Members Night at the Movies tomorrow.
Okay. John Cipher, who played Chief Daniels in scores of Hill Street Blues episodes, was He-Man Chief Ally in 1987's Masters of the Universe, starred on Major Dad, and appeared in dozens of other TV series and films nearly half a century. Over nearly half a century. Died August 3rd at his home in Central Point, Oregon. He was 94. His family told local news outlet Ashland News that he died with his wife by his side, but did not reveal a cause of death. Well, we should respect that. Cypher is probably best known for his role as the politics savvy and sometimes duplicitous police chief Fletcher Daniels in more than 70 episodes of NBC's 1980s cop drama Hill Street Blues from 1981 to 1987. Although the series was created by Stephen Bacco, Michael Kozo, never was a big rating hit, ranking only 27th among primetime series in its first season, and never breaking the top 20 in a three-network universe. Its influence was undeniable as critics swooned. The series amassed 26 Emmys, dozens more nominations, and was the first show to enforce consecutive Emmys for an outstanding drama series from 1981 to 1984. You're a fan of this show, right?
Yeah, I like this show.
And
it was another one of those procedurals where the actors and the characters did change over time, but you were really kind of following, and it's like the police procedurals now, right? The Chicago PD and so forth, where you're really following the police department, So
yeah. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm caught up on my chats too. Okay. But yeah, no, he passed away, and he was also, as we were just saying, he was Man at Arms, right? On
yes, he was
Masters of the Universe.
We'll talk more about him tomorrow night for that, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and Idris Elba plays the character in this year's reboot. Okay, yeah, Masters of the Universe, and yeah, but why are they bringing that up? This is
because
not about,
because they've got to push that little point all the time, because that's what it's all about. It's the representation.
This is about his death. Just okay. And he was also in a lot of things. He played the first night he was on Broadway. He was in The Disenchanted, and also Night of the Iguana, Man of La Mancha, The Great White Hope, and 1776. What do you think of that, huh?
Wow, some of my favorites, actually. Yeah.
He was cast in a single season of the daytime soap Our Five Daughters, which debuted a year after the sitcom My Three Sons. And he was on General Hospital. He went on to appear on General Hospital, As the World Turns, and Santa Barbara, along with primetime soaps Dynasty, Dallas, and Knots Landing. But no Falcon Crest.
Well.
Okay. Anyway, he was also on Mission Impossible, Bonanza, the FBI, and Rockford Files, The Love Boat, Knight Rider, Hunter, The Commish, Jag, Law and Order, Walker, Texas Ranger, Murder, She Wrote. I forgot about Hunter. Remember Hunter?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's one of these actors we've just seen in just about everything. So rest in peace, man. Yeah. So here we are. All My Children is the soap that matters. Is that right, Clue Studio? What do you think?
I mean, it is one of my favorites. Yeah, All My Children, One Life to Live.
No love for Dark
in General Hospital.
No love for Dark Shadows.
Oh, I love
well,
Dark
I don't.
Shadows.
I tend to think of that as in a group all by itself. I've kind of separated that from everything else.
I loved the primetime redo they did in the late '80s with Ben.
I did too, with Ben Cross. Yeah.
That got messed up because of the network coverage of the first Iraq War. They kept pushing it off and delaying it, and it just lost the audience because there was an audience in the beginning. People were primed when it appeared. Right. I had the worst crush on the actress playing Angelique on that show as a.
Oh, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Young. Well, let's not talk about the age I was at. But anyway, okay, well, I thought she was stunning. I just, yeah. Yes. But id Software's Chris Hayes says morale has never been lower. Here we are with back to Xbox. And I don't know. I feel like I'm living in a bizarre world where people are... Now, granted, some of these studio closures and some of these people that got let go, some of them might have deserved it, especially ones behind a lot of the nonsense games we've gotten over the years. But that wasn't it. That's why I keep bringing it up, and I'm angry that people seem okay or even jubilant about people getting let go. This studio never went woke. I have the notes, okay.
Right. I think the reason
they never kowtowed to entertainment pressures. Go ahead. Sorry.
I do think that the reason that people react the way that they do is because they recognize that this is the consequence of all of that. even though this particular company may not have, the entire game industry is dying specifically because of the cultural vandals that have basically been actively destroying it. And it really takes.
So this is
Uh,
collateral
uh,
damage, I guess. That's sort of how
it
I'm seeing
is.
part of it.
That
Yeah.
is a great,
Yeah.
great way of putting it. It is collateral damage. Yeah.
But what kills me about it was doing fine before Xbox bought Bethesda. Well, first Bethesda was bought. I think they sold id. The original founders of id sold it to Bethesda, and then they still operated okay under Bethesda. And then Microsoft bought Bethesda under Xbox because they were going to have all these studios, and everything was going to be on Game Pass. And then Game Pass turns out they didn't make any money off games that they give away for free with a monthly fee. Okay, that destroyed the profits of these games. That's part of it too. Its software lead programmer Chris Hayes reflects on recent layoffs and criticized executives across the industry, arguing they're disconnected from the realities of game development. When Xbox announced mass layoffs, one of the hardest hit studios was Doom developer id Software. The studio laid off at least 136 employees, with reports suggesting that many were part of the id tech team. Now, why is that important? Tech team. Let me see if I can let you know.
Well, I mean, for one thing, it means that you're losing institutional knowledge. That's one
Yeah.
of the biggest problems
Oh
with
yeah.
these kinds of
And
indiscriminate downsizes. They're necessary because let's face it. Like I said, the industry is contracting. Nobody's buying these games anymore. They're not helping by pushing people away. But yeah, it's going to be real hard to save the business going forward if you don't have the people to make the games and make them work and
yeah.
make them enjoyable.
Yeah, and the tech team they would write engines. They would create new engines. And typically when
Right.
you see games coming out, they say, "Oh, uses Unreal and uses this," which is fine, but everybody uses Unreal. These guys knew how to make their own engines. And what was cool is
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where we need to start thinking about innovation. It can't be the end all be all. Otherwise, it stagnates. There's got to be a next generation engine that is even better than
yeah.
Unreal.
And do you know what they would do with their old engines, id, when they would make their new ones? This is what I heard. They would actually give them away. I mean, they would make them open source so anyone could then use the old
Yeah.
Doom engine if they want to make their indie title. Do you understand? Because they're
Right,
not using
right,
it
right,
anymore for
exactly.
their games, and I think that's actually kind of cool. I mean, when's the
Right.
last time Microsoft gave anything away or open sourced anything?
That's for darn sure.
This is why I'm upset about this. I think these were good blokes, as they would say in England. Okay, even though they're
Right,
American.
right.
Yeah. They would later issue a statement that they had a number of people they needed to build the games they're known for, remarking that the team was about the size of the one they had when building Doom in 2016. Now, Chris Hayes, a veteran of the studio and still listed as lead software programmer on LinkedIn, has weighed in on the layoffs. He speaks candidly about how much this affected morale and how he feels about executives above id. Appearing on the Off in Dieter YouTube channel. I assume it's a German YouTube channel. I think I did watch this interview, though. Hayes stated that the team at id had always been concerned that the layoffs were possible and remarked that morale has never been lower. Still, he commended those who were affected for handling the situation with grace and still trying to do what they could to ensure that moving forward the teams would be able to complete their work. It was so inhumane, it was demoralizing, and morale has never been lower. Moving forward, Hayes would criticize the game industries at large, arguing that executives across the industry may understand marketing and sales numbers, but they are disconnected from the reality of what it takes to make a good game. I think that even in companies that are exclusively making games, especially the larger publishers at the top, I think they fundamentally don't understand what makes the business. They may understand the numbers for marketing and sales, but the actual reality what makes a good game, how it gets done, they're so disconnected from it. He also made a point that failures are important too, I guess, because you learn from your failures.
True.
Unless it's a failure that costs
And acknowledging when
$400 million. Go ahead.
maybe acknowledging when there is a failure. You know, I mean, I'm getting sick and tired of them pretending like everything's great, everything's fine, and if you don't like it, it's your fault. You istophobic whatevers.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyway, just you know what, we'll miss that. Hover Tank 90, early tank-based shooter, prototype Catacomb 3D, early first-person. Yeah, I heard about those. I don't know if those were. I forget who did those. I don't know if those. I don't think those were id. I think id's first foray into 3D was Wolfenstein 3D, right? They used to do
I mean,
Commander Keen before then, right?
yeah,
You know Commander Keen?
I have. I didn't play it, but I know of it. Yeah.
You know what it had done? They had made a version of
Hmm.
Super Mario Brothers 3 that ran on PC, and they pitched it to Nintendo. And you know what
Really?
Nintendo said? They
No,
said,
we'll make our own.
you actually did good work here, but guess what? We're not bringing this game to PC." That's what they
Oh, there you
said.
go.
They did it as a
Yeah, there's some
demo, but
wisdom there. Yeah.
well, no, because Nintendo sells their stuff on consoles. They do not bring their stuff to PC. You can actually see demos of it on YouTube. It's actually kind of interesting. And now let's move out from games. Finally, we have some Hollywood stories for a change, huh? We love Hollywood, don't we?
Yeah. I love talking about them. I love putting them in their place. Well, they really do it themselves. I just like pointing out the obvious.
So this is the big David Ellison floats Hollywood exit as state threatens his Warner Brothers deal. Uh, Even Gavin Newsom wants this to go through, but he's being
Yeah.
stymied by the DA. All right, because I guess Gavin is smart enough to know this could be a disaster for California, which
Yep.
David Ellison is making it clear that he'll do just about anything to close this deal to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, ev- even if it means considering plans to take his company far from Hollywood. Ellison, Paramount CEO, told his senior leadership team last week that he would begin pulling the company out of California on October 1st if there was no progress toward resolving a lawsuit by state attorneys general seeking to block the deal, according to three people with knowledge of his remarks. It's unclear whether Ellison will follow through on the plan, which could put pressure on the California Attorney General, one of the chief plaintiffs behind the suit, to come to the negotiating table. Losing a major Hollywood studio would be a blow to the state's economy and self-identity. I'm sorry, I don't know if you caught that Bruce Campbell interview where he was basically saying that
Oh yeah.
everyone's leaving.
And he's not the only one. And you don't have to be particularly based to be seeing it. You just have to have at least some awareness of reality.
Yeah.
And there is probably no bigger advocate for reality in this industry than Justine Bateman. We should follow her on X.
Well, she knows Hollywood.
She is not afraid. She is not afraid to call out California politicians as well as the Hollywood elites for their stupidity.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Rob Bonta, the California Attorney General, blasted Ellison on Tuesday for threatening to move. It is an attempt to blackmail regulators who are daring to enforce the law, Bonta said at a conference. Even floating the idea of a move.
That's like saying if you jump out the window, you will fall to the ground and die. That's like saying you're threatening me with gravity. You know? No, I'm just telling you the reality of this situation.
Even floating the idea of a move comes with political risk. Paramount has tried to position itself as a champion of Hollywood, and Ellison has personally pledged that a combined Paramount Warner Brothers would release 30 movies in theaters per every year. But there
comes a point where you just I try, but there's nothing I can do. You know, I can't stay in business and deal with this crap. I understand that.
He wants to bring comedies back. We need comedies back. We need to laugh now.
We need
in these
well-written
days.
movies, period. I mean, the bar is very, very low right now.
I was watching Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield last night. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
His one-liners. We need more stuff like that. I'm telling you.
That's for sure.
Still, the comment to the executive highlights Ellison's increased eagerness to get the $111 billion deal over the finish lines. Because it's costing him money.
Right.
Spokesperson for so state attorneys general have argued that the company would have the outsized market power. Ellison, they didn't do anything with Disney, so I don't want to hear this. They didn't say anything about Disney buying Fox. Ellison and supporters have ratcheted up their pushback, including the press Wall Street Journal column from Aaron Moe, Power Broker in Hollywood, called the state's antitrust case trash. An opinion essay in Variety from Adam Aaron, the CEO of theater chain AMC. That's interesting. I think this is this is one guy with a vendetta. That's what I'm thinking this is all about.
Or
But
he's got other political, intentions, and he's trying to grandstand for his potential supporters. I mean, you have to consider that possibility.
yeah. There's another problem, though. Many of the top Paramount executives I've spoken to are extremely unhappy with the idea. Joseph N. Singer, a veteran film financier and former studio executive, said in an email, their lives, their families, their kids, and lives are and schools are in L.A. This reminds me of when Disney was gonna when Chapek floated the idea of moving some of Disney to Florida. Remember?
Right.
I think that's when it happened. That's what started the whole. uh Chapek.
And I'm sorry, I when it comes to corporations, I don't really care. I really don't care. I am sorry, there are too many people that work real jobs, right? That make this country actually work, right? Losing their jobs and saying to their families, "I'm sorry, I know you've got friends here, but we're going to have to move because I need to work. Otherwise, I can't. We're gonna end up on the street anyway." You know?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And let me see. We got more articles on this though. We have Paramount escalates threat to leave California as DMAG's antitrust lawsuit stall Warner Brothers merger.
Yep.
Just really terrible stuff. Paramount's new chief is threatening to move the studio out of California. The Golden State's Attorney General doesn't come to the table and resolve the high stakes antitrust lawsuit. And he's serious. The Paramount CEO David Ellison is serious about relocating his headquarters to a more business friendly state. He's been in contact with like Georgia, Tennessee, or Texas. If California Attorney General Rob Bonta, who is leading 11 other states to block Paramount's $111 billion merger with Warner Brothers Discovery. I wonder what those other states are. Go ahead.
Well, and it does sound like Illinois is one of them. It seems that Tennessee is kind of in the lead for where Paramount's going to go, but this may or may not have any impact on that lawsuit, but I still think that it's looking more and more inevitable that this merger is going to happen, and that means that not only is Paramount going to be leaving, but that means that Warner Brothers is going to be leaving too. Ultimately, eventually. And if it doesn't, and if this merger doesn't go through, well, Warner Brothers is still going to be leaving because they're going to go out of business. They're going to go bankrupt.
I'm sorry. We've had studio mergers all throughout Hollywood history, though. 20th Century Fox. Do you know what 20th Century Fox used to be? They used to be 20th Century Studios and Fox Studios, right? They were separate companies. They merged. This stuff happens.
And then they merged with Disney, and they said nothing. They said nothing.
Disney News Corp, Comcast, Warner, Viacom. Oh, I'm sorry. I always think of the Lynn Green one. Disney, Pixar, Lucasfilm, Marvel, Fox.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know it's not on topic, but I'm going to read it anyway. My house caught on fire the other night, and my kids were screaming, "Fire, fire," and my wife said, "Be quiet, you'll wake your father." Rodney Dangerfield. It's a joke.
Yes.
It's okay. It's fun. I'm sorry. He's a funny guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was.
Did you know he was on an episode of The Simpsons as Mr. Burns' son?
Yes, I remember that.
It was like a mini Rodney Dangerfield movie. It's like a mini Back to School movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, this illegal merger. Oh, look at this though. In a Bonta slammed the latest Paramount buzz, renewing his accusation of attempted blackmail. This is the actual quotes. In a span of weeks, Paramount agreed to halt the merger until a court decision or until June 2027. Asked for a November trial, now back with another attempt to blackmail the state into letting an illegal deal through. Paramount has
I'm telling you, there's going to be, I guarantee you that at some point in the future, there's going to be a countersuit against these states for whatever finances, what do you call it? Paramount loses because of this. They're going to sue them for those damages, and it's going to be under probably tortious interference.
This is terror. This is turning into a miniature disaster.
Yes,
And
it is.
it could be avoided. That's the thing.
Right.
Because someone wants to fly too close to the sun. That's what's going on here.
Yep.
It didn't work the first time. The eye of July also, it won't work this time. The illegal merger will result in higher costs, fewer options, and fewer people making movies. My office remains committed to stop being illegal. No, you know what happens when this studio merges? Another studio can now grow and be born and and become a new studio. That's what happens.
Well, and the other thing is that, you know what else is going to result in less movies and less jobs? That's when Warner Brothers goes bankrupt. Just
Warner
saying.
Brothers is selling off its property one way or the other. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But yeah, that's about it. But it would be a historic deal merging two major Hollywood studios under the corporate umbrella. Again, they're saying it's a historic deal, but nobody talks about the Fox Disney merger like
Right.
it was historic. The only thing I heard people saying, "Oh, cool, now we can have the X-Men in the MCU finally." That's what everybody was excited about. And I'm like, yeah, and
Right.
DeCoste was destroying a studio.
And it still hasn't happened. Technically, it still hasn't happened yet.
Well, that's okay.
What are they waiting for?
Ban everything. Bonta has pulled in all the state attorney generals from all over the blue states to support him. Something I'm sick of them doing. Okay. And I did want to bring up this last story in this trilogy. Paramount says CNN sale on the table to resolve California suit over Warner Brothers deal. Now, some people are wondering, is it because of CNN is why they're getting in its izzy? Because I think he was saying
Probably,
he wanted
but
CNN
who's
to be
watching
fair.
CNN anyway?
Well, I think he said he wanted it to be fair and balanced. Present both sides of the argument. And
It may as well not exist. That's pretty fair and balanced.
Paramount Skydance is keeping all options, including a possible sale of CNN, on the table to resolve California's antitrust suit challenging $110 billion acquisition to Warner Brothers Discovery. You know what they could do? They could sell CNN to the state of California. Then it can actually be state-controlled media.
Wow.
I'm sorry, it's a joke.
Don't suggest it, because that's what they want.
Speaking at Political's California Agenda Conference on Tuesday, Macon Delram also became the first Paramount executive. The public knowledge the Los Angeles-based company may leave California. I know about this, yes, but yeah, they're thinking though. Here's some more details. Asked whether Paramount might quit the state, Durham said there is a point in which you have a fiduciary duty to your shareholders, and those are the factors you consider. And let me see. And the exchange came days after Britain cleared the takeover, extracting 5-year guarantees on programming and editorial independence for Channel 5 News from CNN International and CBS News. So I guess they wanted their own CNN affiliate to break off in Britain. Okay. Yeah. But the UK left the California-led litigation as the deal's last major regulatory obstacle. Yeah, California is the last holdout, and I guess the other states that have joined in. Because this was all about to go through. I guess the White House approved it, right? I guess. I don't know. Because I think there was nothing really going on. I know that the European Union had some caveats, but they allowed it. I think certain movies still had to be distributed by this other studio that was already distributing them over there, right? I think that was what it was. But anyway, California News Network, yeah. So how do you think this is going to resolve? Any predictions?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think that this merger is eventually going to go through. I mean, look, I am not unsympathetic to the reasonable argument that antitrust laws should be enforced. My problem is, where were you previously? That ship's kind of already sailed. You kind of threw antitrust out,
Here is what I think it is. I think because they figured Disney was on board with political agendas, whereas I think Ellison is just trying to remain politically neutral. That's what it sounds like. He's not a political I don't think he's just interested in the business of making movies, I think, from the sound of it.
Right.
That's but I could be wrong. We'll find out as the years go on.
Yeah.
Any good news tonight? Oh. Barbie 2 in crisis. Sequel could be shelved amid pay battle and crumbling deal talks.
I find this so funny because this was one of their biggest successes, and they just can't get out of their own way.
Okay. Do you guys ever think about dying? Margot Robbie asks at the start of 2023's Barbie. It's one of the many moments of existential dread that her character faces on the journey to becoming a real woman. Cut to 3 years later, and Hollywood insiders have spent the past week asking, "Do you guys think Barbie is dead?" Robbie's version may well be. The proposition has sprung into one of the most famous. Excuse me. Has spun one of the. Sorry. The proposition has spun some of the most famous and powerful people in show business: Greta Gerwig, Robbie, David Zaslav, Brian Lord, Ryan Gosling, Noah Baumbach, and Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi into a pink world of chaos. Jaws dropped throughout the industry after the New York Times reportedly recently that a follow-up Barbie, the highest-grossing movie in Warner Brothers history, was in peril thanks to stalled deal talks. In what could be his final months running Warner Brothers Discovery, Zaslav has dug in and taken a stand against the team's massive but justifiable, per many sources, pay demands. It's a showdown more dramatic than a beach-off between Ken, and Ken. Excuse me one moment. I got a cough. I'm going to mute. Okay.
You know what I would love to see if Mattel wants to continue and they can't get past these problems. They should just do a fashion doll. What do they call it? Monster High movie. Put it out for a Halloween release, and I mean, do as much as you can using whatever infrastructure you have from the Barbie movie, and make some reference to, yeah, Barbie's over with. We're done with that. We're the next generation. This is we're a line for the the younger audience or whatever, or for the new audience or whatever.
Here's what I think is going on. I do drink water, but I just ran out. Geek flag. Anyway, what was I going to say here, though? Barbie 2 in crisis. I think Zaslav lost too much money on these bombs in recent years.
True.
I think it doesn't help the fact that Barbie did well. Whether you or I liked it, I admit it was a huge box office success. But then they had stuff like Mickey 17.
Yeah.
And they don't have the money. That's right. The problem.
And that's what a lot of and look, this is the same thing that I've heard in my professional life forever. I'm sorry, we really don't have money to give you a raise this year. It's just a really hard market now. I'm sorry, Hollywood is going to have to start having those conversations with their stars and saying, you know what? We want you, but we can't afford you at the prices that we've been paying. So either take a pay cut and do the job, or screw you, we'll find someone else and recast you.
This may be a dumb question. Why doesn't Paramount get involved in this, and it could be a joint studio production? I know that's silly considering the fact that they're in the process of trying to buy Warner Brothers, but we've had joint studio productions before. Blade Runner 2049 was between Warner Media and Sony when it came out. Sometimes two studios do jump in.
Well, yeah, and look, people don't realize or just forget, we talk about it all the time, that the Spider-Man movies were joint between Sony and Disney, kind of by necessity, but it seems like the only success Disney can have is when Sony's involved. I guess Sony on their own isn't doing a very good job.
Well, Sony has its own problems, but the creative
team time.
Oh, have you watched that movie?
I have not. I have no interest.
It's okay. You don't have to. It's okay. I gotta keep my mouth shut. People get mad when I talk about Morbius. Okay. Anyway, the creative team in discussions is led by co-writer and Helmer Gerwig, who became the most successful woman director ever after the film grossed more than $1.4 billion at the global box office.
Yeah, and what else has she done?
She's doing Narnia next.
Exactly.
Male lead Gosling. Gosling's still very hot right now, so he's pricey at this point. He's one of the big.
Well, at least he's still working.
Robbie, I don't know what she's done since Barbie.
Exactly.
Studios made more than 6 offers in the past 3 years, all of which have been rejected. She was supposed to headline a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie that never got off the ground because they weren't going to have Johnny Depp in it. But let's see here, though. Scouting a sequel deal comes as Warner Brother film chiefs DeLuca and Abdi have had a rough 4 months to put another Barbie movie into active development, or the rights to the iconic doll revert back to toy maker Mattel. If new
Yep.
contracts don't materialize, Mattel will not be permitted to use a shred of Gerwig's Barbie as a jumping off point. So they can't then sell
Right.
a Barbie sequel with any of these
It's the
people into
same-
another studio.
I'm glad somebody is recognizing this. This is the same problem that Paramount has, or I don't consider it a problem, but it's the same issue that Paramount has with
Star Trek.
Bad Robot and
Yes.
and Secret Hideout. When those contracts ended, and they have ended, they can no longer reference any of the canon from those shows. That's why I've said this 20% different. I don't care what you want to call it. It is completely separate by license. That is an absolute demonstrable truth. So if you enjoyed your Star Trek Picard and your Strange New Worlds, they're done.
Yeah.
That's it. You won't be seeing any more of that unless there's a new contract between Paramount and those studios, which is not in their best interests.
Yeah, well, think about it though. We have all this DC junk. I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of Barbie, but it has its audience.
Yeah.
Isn't it more imperative for them to get this off the ground than the DC stuff right now? Because, granted, they
Well,
don't own Barbie, do they? They have to license it out.
I was
so
just
that's
going to
another
say they're on the clock right now for Barbie. They are not on any clock for DC. They own it, and the only way that they're on the clock is that they're going to have new bosses potentially. That might change things.
Yes. Well, if they get Paramount, the merger happens. This movie will happen. He'll jump right in front of this because it's a moneymaker, despite whatever we think of it.
Yeah.
And technically it's a comedy too. I think, right? It's technically treated as a comedy. So.
Oh yeah.
It's right up
Absolutely.
Allison's alley. Geek Fly, keep an eye out. Troy and I may be in the near future doing a thing on the current state of DC.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
because I think it's time we, not necessarily a post-mortem because we're not there yet, but
Yeah.
maybe a prognosis, I guess.
Right.
All right, so Zaslav. Normally we don't talk about PBS, but we do talk about the importance of having physical media, don't we, on this stream?
Oh yeah.
And this is a disaster. PBS broadcaster loses access to 50 terabytes of data comprising 70 years of TV history. 9PBS is afraid that it will lose over 70 years of archival materials and programming after its contracted cloud storage vendor has apparently gone out of business. According to Current, the channel used open source storage or OSS for storing over 50 terabytes of data, but it suddenly lost access to its data earlier this year. 9PBS has been working with OSS and its predecessor since 2019 and intended to renew its contract on March 6th of this year. The company never responded and abruptly cut off the station's data access, even though it still had 30 days to retrieve its data after the contract ended. The station dug a little bit deeper when it discovered that the OSS website no longer existed and was listed as delinquent under the Colorado Secretary of State. It's also discovered that OSS utilized Iron Mountain services, so it sent a demand letter to the latter to preserve its data and to pay any reasonable costs associated with its demand. At the time, Iron Mountain did not confirm or deny that it possessed 9PBS's data. I think that stuff's gone.
It probably is. It almost certainly is.
At the same time, the channel also sued OSS and its leadership, which it paused after someone who claimed to be managing partner of the group that officially acquired the company reached out. The person named James Trammell initially communicated with 9PBS for about a month. However, it also ended abruptly, with the channel eventually receiving an automated reply from Trammell stating he is no longer connected with OSS. This reminds me of the glory days of the .com bubble.
Yeah.
Remember that when
Yeah.
I heard stories of people that would work for these places, and you would be saying, "We're doing fine. Please don't answer the phones right now." Right? It's like
Yeah.
because they were about to go under, and people were saying, "What's going on?" Okay, the channel was about to get in touch with him and said that he had been defrauded into acquiring the cloud storage company, and that ownership and operations have now reverted to the previous owners. This left the channel at a loss, so it continued its case against OSS, and the court ruled that 9PBS had all the rights to access its data stored with OSS, and the latter should facilitate its transfer to a new vendor. The channel's attorney reached out to Iron Mountain to inform the company of the pending case in Colorado. Iron Mountain finally admitted to holding the data. Yay! Okay. Iron Mountain initially agreed to turn over 9PBS's data, but it eventually backtracked and claimed that OSS owned the data it stored. Because of this, 9PBS now has no choice but to sue Iron Mountain to ensure
That
the data
is
not
so funny. You chose to store your data on a cloud service, and now that holding company owns the data. You don't own your own data because you stored it on someone else's. That's Schadenfreude.
Well, it's a horror show. It's like you sent me that video of the guy that told the horror story of losing his Fandango account.
Yep,
Do you know who has a Fandango account?
you
Me.
do. Of course,
That
you
was
do.
where that wonderful French Connection got censored by Disney. And when I told them, "Hey, you either give me an uncensored version of the movie, or I want to store credit and take this movie off," and they said no, and I said, "Okay, I'm not buying anything digital off your store ever again," and I never have.
Good.
One thing I do have, at least for my digital movies, I also have them tied to my Movies Anywhere account. So if Fandango ever does go defunct, at least a large portion of my digital library will still be saved on Movies Anywhere. I guess what do you
As
call
long
it?
as you can trust that they don't go out of business
Okay,
or have
so
a legal situation or whatever.
most of these are movies that were digital copies I got from my DVDs anyway, so I still have those. You know. Do you know why they
That's
started
right.
giving away?
And
Go ahead.
well, I was going to say, if you have the physical media, you can always make your own digital. Look, you don't need to use these services to have, in quotes, movies anywhere. You can create
Yeah.
your own server
Yeah.
that you can access from anywhere.
Why do you
Basically,
think?
your own cloud server, but you own that place that you're holding it.
Why do you think they started giving out the digital copies to begin with? They didn't want people knowing how to do that. Get them used to just taking the digital copy, and we'll store the digital copy for you. You don't have to make your own. And then
We've been talking about how this relates to gaming too, and how Dungeons and Dragons doesn't want you to own physical books. They want you to have to own, pay for their cloud service, and you store your characters up there, and you store your maps up there, and if you stop paying, you can't access any of it. Well, do you know where my gaming group stores all of our stuff?
where?
On our own computers, and we have two of the four of us are actually IT guys, and one of them just set up a server on his own home computer where we back up everything to, and if we can't get together, we can play online, and we have access to all of that stuff. It is
What?
never out of our reach.
Why didn't they back up to like external hard drives or something? I mean, I know that stuff has gone up in price now, but a couple of years ago, you could get these externals they were horribly expensive. You could a PBS station should be able to get 50 terabytes worth and just store the stuff
let's
on
be
that.
clear about what is missing here. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not talking about episodes of Faulty Towers and Doctor Who and stuff like that. We're talking about shows that were made by this particular PBS
For their
affiliate.
local
For
stuff. Yeah.
their local news,
Yeah.
interviews, special interests and stuff like that. To the people that live in that community, that stuff is important. I know growing up in the Chicagoland area, stuff that was broadcast on WGN, which it wasn't a the PBS affiliate. It's just a local network,
Right.
independent network. It carried a lot of the sports for a lot of years, but it also had, you know, the local Bozo show. For a while, it had Son of Svengoolie, or Svengoolie, if you want to call him that now that he's grown up. But
Funny.
WGN did Rich Koz's show for a long time. Those shows are still archived by WGN, and they have a what is it? Museum of Broadcast. I can't remember what it's called, but it's you know, they look to people that want to help support the archives. Hey, can you help us, because this costs money? But they have all of that physical media. So just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what can happen. This is why we keep telling you, don't trust putting your stuff on someone else's servers.
I'm actually okay for having people storing things digitally as a backup, because you could lose your physical hard drives too. There could be a fire or a
Oh,
flood.
absolutely.
So have
Absolutely.
both, but don't rely on one. Yeah.
But make sure you maintain control of that digital product.
Yeah,
Just
you're right
like
about
your
that.
physical media, make sure you have access to it, and you're not giving it to somebody else to hold for you, because you can't trust them.
You think all the PBS networks throughout the country would have maybe banded together and formed their own cloud storage, right? That we can all use.
Well, this is the same problem you always have with socialism. Just saying. Just saying.
Anyway, the entire thing is a nightmare scenario for 9 PBS. Still unclear what will happen to its data. Well, I think someone just told me that they're not giving it back. It's not clear if the channel has backup of its data, but based on its termination, we suspect not. This is strange, though, especially for a major organization, one that can easily purchase a 6-bay NAS on Amazon and populate it with the best HDDs. Yeah, this also goes against the 3-2-1 backup rule, which says you should keep 3 copies of your files stored in 2 different mediums, with one of them running off-site. Yes.
Yep.
Hopefully 9 PBS will implement a better backup system once it regains access to its data, and at least there's still a chance. It's not like the fire that the South Korean government experienced last year, which saw 858 terabytes of data go up in smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. Own your physical media. Store your physical media, especially when it's your own, the stuff you made yourself.
Yep.
Don't think I don't have externals, especially with schoolwork. I will store them in an email. I will store it on my computer, because you never know, something's going to bust, you know?
Yep.
You'll lose access. The stuff gets wiped out from the online classes. It's always something. Here's Bruce. You know Bruce?
Yep.
Okay. Bruce Campbell, yes. Anyway, no, this is a scene from Ash versus the Evil Dead, the follow-up series. I like that, though. He looks kind of bummed out. Bruce Campbell wants to see more humor and color in future Evil Dead movies. There have been 3 Evil Dead. Go ahead.
I agree.
Yeah. There have been 3 Evil Dead movies in the past 13 years, beginning with Fede Alvarez's remake in 2013. The franchise then expanded with both Evil Dead Rise and Evil Dead Burn in more recent years. But those latest 3 movies in the franchise have been noticeably different from Sam Raimi's original trilogy, which leaned heavily into wacky horror comedy hijinks, particularly in the case of both Evil Dead 2 and the medieval 1990s sequel, Army of Darkness. Many fans of the franchise have taken issue with the new approach, and franchise icon producer Bruce Campbell echoes this sentiment in a new chat with Men's Journal this week. Like many fans, Campbell wants to see humor make a return to the world of Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell explains in his chat with Men's Journal, "I'd like to see more humor back in. The 3 features have been mostly humorous, and I personally have a problem with that. There's no point for these to get too grim. You can be scary without being grim. A little more humor wouldn't kill you," Campbell continues. And one hero that you can really root for. Ash is an idiot, but you want him to survive. Campbell, who has stepped back and taken a less active role in the development of the Evil Dead movies, beginning with Evil Dead Burn, also wants the franchise to find its visual pop again. He explains, Modern filmmakers love to color their movies like a David Fincher movie, like a hospital room, you know? Gray green like a garage lighting. And so, okay, it's a choice. It's not mine. I think even a horror movie can look pretty. Why not throw them off, make it all look pretty and wonderful, and then you let them have it? That's what Hammer Studios did. Remember?
Yep. Yep.
All this being said, Bruce Campbell does have high hopes for the next franchise installment, Evil Dead Wrath, currently set for theatrical release on April 7th, 2028. The 1970 set prequel is directed by Francis Galupe, last stop in Yuma Country, and Campbell is a fan of his work. Wrath will be good because I saw that filmmaker's first movie, and it was really cool and really smart and really well thought out, Campbell notes. That's half the battle. We'll see what happens going forward, but I have high hopes for the next one. They could make something that takes place in the 1970s funny, I think, right?
Yep.
But yeah, the last one was just too grim. And what's the next story? Let's see here. No! How do we run out? I'm hearing crickets now. I guess that happens. How y'all doing in the chat tonight? Do you agree with Bruce's statements, huh?
I think it's another person who kind of sees what's going on and realizes, look, you may own a property, but if you don't continue with the what it is that people like, your business is going to die. You know, that's what it comes down to.
Hello, all. Welcome, Booger.
Hey, good to see you, Booger.
Yes. Ash versus the Evil Dead. I've actually I put that on every so often because I need a cleansing of all the grim Evil Dead movies. For some reason, I liked the remake, the Fede Alvarez one, but I don't think I didn't care that much for Rise. I cared even less for Burn. Burn was the latest one. I did not like that one at all. I just, it's too grim. And someone said it's too mean-spirited, and I'm like, well, that's a lot of modern horror is mean-spirited. Midsummer was mean-spirited. It wasn't happy like The Wicker Man. I'm kidding, of course. The Nick Cage Wicker Man. You've seen that, right?
Yeah. But I prefer the original.
I would love for them to have a spin-off series from Ash vs. Evil Dead with the Ghost Beaters focusing on Kelly, Pablo, and Brandy. Yeah, Pablo, let's call ourselves the Ghost Beaters.
Yeah.
You know, here's the deal. You don't have to have Ash as the protagonist, but you have to have someone who's funny, or, you know, you have to have humor in it, you know? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Bruce is dealing with a lot of stuff now. I don't necessarily want to come back. Plus, I thought Ash vs. the Evil Dead was a great send-off for his character if they never decided to do another one, but with him in it. But Ash vs. the Evil Dead was one of the very best TV shows to come out in a very long time. Of course, and guess when it was made? It was made in the last decade, not this decade. You couldn't make a show like that this decade because it's fun. I'm sorry I said that out loud. It's true. There's a scene in season 2 where he's fighting a reanimated corpse or deadite thing in I think it was in a morgue, like at a police station. And at some point when he's trying to fight this thing, his head goes out of a certain end. The corpse, if you know what I mean. And it's just, he's like, it traumatized Ash. Like, he could throw anything that he didn't like. It was just, never mind.
I do want to say to Booger, he says, Wicker Man, there can be only one. There can only be the Nicolas Cage version.
Yes.
I disagree. I have 2 words for you, Booger. Britt Eklund.
I have 2 words.
Think about it.
Bristol afraid of the dark.
They're afraid of the dark. That's right. Exactly right. Yeah, don't forget Ingrid Pitt. Absolutely. So, you know, just saying. The only way you can say there can only be the Nicolas Cage version is someone who hasn't seen the original Wicker Man.
Here's the deal. The Nicolas Cage movie is wonderful in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, if you like insane Nicolas
not
Cage.
the bees.
That's the scene that gets played, but that's like every other scene. There's him doing something ridiculous in it. Like, like holding up the doll in front of his. Is that his ex-wife, or is that like, why did it burn? Why did it burn? Like he's like, it's just,
And actually,
it's
you
so
know what?
bad.
Now that I think about it, I think the original 73 Wicker Man has got to be a rewatch for us in like late September, early October. I think we're going to have to do it. Cuz
Yeah,
that is just a oh my gosh.
yeah, that's a good one.
Very creepy, very off-putting horror film.
Very fall too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Geek Flag, yes, I didn't need the full description of what happened. I was trying to be obscure.
Yeah.
And then in season 3, one of the bad people, I guess, are trying to create another evil Ash, but he's a baby at first. So then he's fighting
God.
a baby. He's fighting a baby. And then the
Oh.
baby jumps into a dead body, and then the baby's head pops out of the neck of the dead body, and like he's fighting with the dead body. And then, like, I think he captures the baby and throws in the trunk of the car, and then a cop pulls him over, and she opens the trunk, and he says, "What's going on here?" There is a good explanation for this. So there's like this cute baby in the trunk of his car.
There's a good explanation.
It's completely ridiculous. I think in season 2 there's a scene where where the Oldsmobile he has gets possessed and they're fighting the car.
Oh my God.
Oh, and there's another scene where of course, what is it? The biblical god, the demon Baal. You know who I'm talking about?
Baal,
Comes
yeah.
out. Yeah, the guy, he gets summoned, but Ash keeps calling him Bill
Bill. I
because
like
he's an
that.
idiot.
But it's funny too. I
Yes.
mean, it's like, oh gosh.
I like the actor they got to play Ball. He looked like a metalhead. You know, he kind of
Yeah,
had like a metalhead
cool.
thing going, like a hard rock thing going on. But yeah. Anyway, great show, Ash versus the Evil Dead. Please skip Evil Dead Burn, unless you like to torture yourself. If you want to see grody things, you can see it in Evil Dead Burn. I hate to see what the unrated version's like because they got.
But
away
you
with
know
a lot
what?
in
If
the
you like to
unrated
see
version.
grody things, maybe just go see Phantasm again. You know, I'm sure it's available.
So here's the thing: Phantasm has its extreme parts, but it's nothing that I thought. Well, no, then there's that part in 2. Never mind.
Yeah, then there's that other part. So
Then the
yeah,
first, never mind. I never mind. Anyway, how can I put this? There's good gore and then there's bad gore. Okay,
yeah.
there's an art to gore, right? Planet Terror has great gore in it. If you've ever seen Planet
Oh
Terror,
yeah, it does. Yeah,
yes.
it does. Yeah.
All right, I guess I got to wrap this up. We've been going for 90 minutes, but we got a lot of stuff going on tonight. You'll be able to catch me over on Deleted Scenes Network, and I should actually post a link to that in the chat.
I just did.
Oh, you
I
did.
just
Thank
did.
you. You are thinking ahead,
Since
ahead,
we
my man.
can't forward, can't
Yes.
forward you, please be sure to help us raid Deleted Scenes, and there is the link.
And I'm gonna be on there, and we're gonna
Yep,
talk
there you
about
go.
it's Boomer's choice tonight, the topic. So I'm talking. We're gonna talk about Deep Red, the Dario Argento classic from 1975, starring David Hemmings. You know him, English actor.
No,
Okay,
No.
well I'm hearing cricket. Okay, well anyway,
not off the top of my head, anyway.
He's good in it. Note to self: when when a psychopath serial killer is killing people, and this person is after you, and you go to and your investigations leave you to an abandoned, creepy house, don't go there late at night by yourself. Especially after a pane of glass fell in your face earlier. That's a warning. Just stay out, please. I'm just saying. We'll talk more about it later. Anyway. He's fighting the Deadites in the... Oh!
Yeah.
I forgot about season 2. That was season 2, wasn't it? Oh, man. That show. That was Stars that aired that. All right. So what do you got going on? We have reserved seats shortly in a half hour, and I will be drinking some
Yep.
water in the meantime because I don't know what's going on with my voice tonight. And then we have on your channel, correct?
Yep.
Doctor Who?
Yep. We assuming everything works, I will be starting the first of 2 parts for us. The Crusade. It is a 4-part series, and we do two a week. And this is one of those that has some reconstructed episodes. So, so we have to deal with those reconstructed episodes to be completists.
You gotta use your imagination.
Well, not really, because they are somewhat animated, but I believe these are done by fans.
Oh.
These could be from the loose canon. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into it, but it's at least you can get the story out of it. And yeah, so that's tonight.
I thought they were just going to have actors and would be wearing paper masks with the characters on them.
Well, yeah, there's that.
And like
too.
a really chintzy TARDIS set. Just,
that is an option, right?
And then tomorrow night, there's going to be, of course, during the afternoon, you will have your liquid lunch.
Yes.
Monday musings.
And it probably means creating a whole new studio, but yes, I will find a way to broadcast this week. And that includes Monday night, Members Night at the Movies. We will be watching that aforementioned a Masters of the Universe film from 1986.
Classic. I watched a clip from the current one, and you know what I thought?
What?
I thought it was like some YouTube video where someone overdubbed the actors, and that's why all the dialogue was this really weird, memey, silly stuff. I didn't realize that was from the actual movie.
Yes, it is.
No.
And Michael French did a video breaking down the entire final throne room battle scene. We talked about this a little bit last night during the Kingsman rewatch. There's that scene, that fight scene where Colin Firth is literally taking on the entire, I don't know what it's, the stand-in for the Westboro Baptist Church, right? Yes. And I said, what's amazing about this is not only the fight choreography, because Big Al commented on that. I said, if you pay close attention, there are things that happen that go off camera. And then as the camera moves around, you see that thing going on, continuing to go on off camera and in the background. They are keeping track of everything that's going on, as if it's all in camera, so that no matter how they're shooting and when and where, it gets covered. And I'm like, and yet the throne room scene in the 2026 Masters of the Universe couldn't even manage that. Michael French breaks it down. You have Tila, Evelyn, Beastman, Krenger, He-Man, and Skeletor. 6 individuals, all split into 2. So you got basically 3 fights going on. And if you can imagine how that would look, you should have 3 fights going on at the same time. Not 2 people fighting and 4 others standing around waiting. Oh, is it our turn to fight? Okay, now we'll fight. But that is how it ends up coming off. Oh. And it's and Krenger and Beastman should be on this side, but suddenly they're on the other side and they teleport, and it's like there was no thought that went into the choreography of this. It's just horrible.
Evelyn, in the movie, I thought her name was Evelyn.
from now on, I will be known as Goodlin. Oh, your name is Evelyn? I just thought your name was Evelyn.
Do they have a scene with her showing up at that office that He-Man was in the beginning? Like she gets stuck on Earth, and then they're like, "Okay, Evelyn, if you could make some copies," and he says, "It's Evelyn, thank you."
That would have been good, but no. I mean, they don't actually make any good use of his time on Earth. That should never have happened in this movie, because that's not who he is. But whatever.
Remember in Austin Powers when Carrie Fisher's running the family therapy, and it's and she goes, "Mr. Evil, Dr. Evil." Remember when he says that? And he's
right.
It's just funny because it's. I swear that movie busted a gut with me back in the day. Austin Powers. Anyway, though, and then throughout the week we'll be on Sparkwood and 21 on Tuesday. And then Netter, you have your Netters Network Thursday things, correct?
Yes, I might possibly have a guest. We're confirming whether or not it's going to be this week or next week.
Okay, cool.
I also want to remind my members to go over to my channel and vote for your members only trivia night. Which date you'd like to have it on? Right now, September 3rd is winning, but not by much. So you still have plenty of time to vote.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
cool.
it.
And then Friday night we'll have Last Call. Which will
Yes, we're going to make attempt 2 at our favorite TV themes. We'll try anyway.
It'll be a good one. Looking forward to it. All right, and then you'll have your Saturday movie. Is Al's turn this week?
This week is it's your week because he just did the
Sorry about
Right.
that.
So mine's going to be the Hudsucker Proxy.
The Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh, I love that movie. Who
For the
knows?
kids. It's for the kids.
Is that the one with the
Speaking of jumping out a window,
Is that the one with the crinkly straw bit in it?
the crinkly straw bit.
Keep an eye out for it. I think there's
That
a
I don't
scene in it
know.
with a guy that invents the crinkly straw. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Okay. I do.
What happened to the crinkly straw?
It still exists, but they don't want it to be made out of plastic, so you have to get it out of paper. And of course, anyone who's ever tried using a paper straw knows how pointless and ridiculous those are. Cool. Environmentalism ruins everything. I'm just saying.
All right, see y'all there. Yes, see me on Deleted Scenes shortly. I guess good night, everyone.
Yep.
All right, have a good one. I'm going to play the outro.
Go for it.
Good night.